Oh guys, I don't know if I'm ready to tell this story. This story is really hard. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Roxy Rose, and I'm back with another video. If you are new here, welcome. If you are returning, you know what it do. You know what it do. Welcome back, Rose family. So guys, I do have a disclaimer today. If you are new here, I usually do videos on beauty, health, lifestyle, basically touch on everything. However, today's video, I do have a disclaimer for those who are new and who are my current subscribers. This video might be a bit triggering, so I would advise you guys, if it is triggering, that you can go and watch my other videos. So this video is going to be talking about murder. It's going to be talking about a child's death, and that can be triggering on its own. You guys can check out my other videos if this is going to be triggering. So please guys, if you are staying for this video, give it a big thumbs up, like it, comment down below, share with a friend to get the news out about this baby boy. Subscribe to the channel, and please remember to press that bell so you get notified every time I post a new video. Okay, another disclaimer, I do not mean any harm to the victims in this story. Okay, so I am actually reporting what happened, my experience of what happened, and what was said in the news, okay? So from what I'm remembering, because it was so long ago, I will tell you, and I did research. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of talk about this story. As you know, with Black people, there's not a lot of news coverage when things happen. I didn't find any really updates after of what happened to the parents or whatnot. So let me just get into the story. I might be like looking down because I have it written down to remember some key points. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so just so you know, if you're new here, like, my personality is really like bubbly and smiley, but this is really a serious sad story. I'm hoping not to get overwhelmed. I guess this is why I never said it, because it is a bit traumatizing. But if I'm smiling, like, it's not because I'm not taking it seriously. This is my personality, but this really was a trigger to me, guys. A trigger. Okay, yeah, so this story happened in 2008. My son was born 2006. So this is probably why it like really affected me. I mean, it would have affected me either way, but at that time my son was 2 years old, I guess, or almost two, and it happened in the same building that we lived in. So in 2006 my son was born, and at that time I was living with my mom. It was in a hood area. It was hood, Canadian hood, and basically that street was known for like crackheads, but everybody on that block knew each other. Like, a lot of Caribbean people knew each other. Like, what if you walk down the block and you didn't belong on the block, and like, people will be sus. But like, if I walk down the block, everyone says hi. They were friendly. Even if you lived in the same apartment building, people were friendly. Obviously, there was some people who were a bit like, hey, like, standoffish, won't hold a convo with you, but everyone was friendly. Like, in that building, I'm pretty sure I could have went to my neighbors, asked for milk, asked for something, and they would have given it. You know, like, it was that type of building. And yeah, so the street, it was it was known to be a bad street. So, like, if you were new, like, whether you were new or not on that block, people were always you know, Caribbean people sometimes like to be in your business. So sometimes they were like in your business, but yeah. But sometimes it was just like cool. They were like, some of them were cool and some of them were asking you too much questions sometimes. And then you have those occasional men who will just be like trying to flirt with you and stuff, you know. So in 2008, this Haitian couple moved in upstairs from my building. And like I only seen them a couple of times, and when we seen them they were very standoffish. They didn't speak, and at that time I didn't know if it's because if they were French, or you know, if they didn't know any English. So yeah, like we would always try to say hi, and also because we seen them with a newborn baby. Me, I'm not really good with connecting with mothers, but I, you know, as sometimes when you see someone, a young couple with a newborn baby, and you're young too, you try to connect. So I tried to say hi, but they were very standoffish, and I'm like, well, let it go. Yeah, so one time we were home, and then we seen a bunch of police cars coming to, like, basically in front of our building. And this is normal. I wouldn't say a bunch of police cars are normal, but like maybe one police car is normal on that block. But this was like really so many police cars that you knew something was off. Okay, so we seen a bunch of police cars, and the door upstairs was barricaded. Like they barricaded it, they put tape, whatever. Then on the news we seen what exactly happened. On the news they said that the baby was in critical condition, I believe, at the time. And from what, like, there was a bit of like miscommunication with what's happening on the block, because you know the block likes to talk, and miscommunication with the news. It was just a bit like all over the place. So what we heard was that the mother, her name is FLOTVELINE Jean-Louis, and she was 19 at the time. It was a Haitian couple, and they were from Haiti, but they left Haiti, I believe, as refugees to go first to America, then came to Canada. Her man's name was Pierre Metidor, and he was, I believe, 20 at the time. He is not the child's biological father. From what I heard, like the mother actually called the cops, but from the news it says that the cops came in and found the baby with multiple bruises and was hemorrhaging, like from the brain. They took him to the children's hospital. So apparently while the baby was in the hospital, the police interviewed the parents and then they were released. However, instead of the parents going back to the hospital, they actually were on the run. Basically, when you're a parent and your child is sick, usually you would go back to the hospital, make sure they're okay, and because they knew they did something, they were on the run. But they were released by the police. While they were on the run, they left from Canada to go to the States. And while they were away, 11 days later, the baby passed away. Okay, so this story is really hard, obviously, because it was so close to home, and at that time I had a baby, and it was like, why? Like, you know, we had a lot of questions. So things were very not clear on what happened. At that time, they were like investigating our building, and they were very new to the building, so like people couldn't really answer to what happened. You know, we don't know if it was like, we don't know if she was in a domestic violence situation or whatnot. Okay, so when the baby died, they did put the yellow tape on the door, and I did go upstairs and put some of my son's teddies and, like, you know, tried to do a little mini memorial. But obviously it didn't stay long because Yeah, like, you know, they have to clear it for someone else to live in, basically. And the parents were on the top 10 most wanted list for Quebec, I guess. Not, I don't know if it was all over Canada, but they were on the most wanted list. And US officials caught the couple in Florida. When the US officials seen them in Florida, they called Canada to make sure it was them. So when they got arrested, they admitted to beating their 9-month-old baby. 9-month-old baby. I'm gonna stop saying baby and say his name. So this baby's name is Ryan. The baby was American born. His name was Ryan, and he was the youngest homicide victim of 2008. On autopsy shown cause of death was being violently shaken. They did admit to beating their 9-month-old baby boy. And FLOTVELINE Jean-Louis spent 4.5 years in prison. She received like the more severe sentence because she said she was the one who did more of the action. She admitted to the fatal blow to her son. And METIDOR, he served 2 years as he denied baby medical care. Like, bro, what? You denied the baby medical care? So he served 2 years. Then after their sentences, they were both sent back to Haiti. So at that time, the rumors were like, oh, on the block, were like, okay, it was the mom who brought him to the hospital. I think even in the news it was a bit confusing. So the mom brought him to the hospital and left him there. And then the news states that he was found in the apartment at that time. So in the news it says he was found in the apartment, but then like other sources were saying, like people were saying that the mom actually did bring him to the hospital. But anyway, so we'll go by what the news says, and he was found in the apartment. I don't know who called. I don't know if the mom finally did call the Medicare after and say, okay, my son's injured or what. So the 9-month-old baby was found on February 16, 2008. And as I said, my son is born 2006, but his birthday was February 3rd. So this was like basically a few weeks, like 2 weeks after his birthday, not even. And he died 11 days in hospital. And the parents, they were arrested, so from February to November, which was 9 months later in 2008, which is ironic because the baby was 9 months old and then they were arrested 9 months later. Crazy. Now you may be saying, why would they do this? So the Crown told the court that they never intended to harm the baby. They did not have any criminal record, and they suffered traumatic childhoods. So this was the Crown's excuse. I have suffered traumatic childhood, but you know, I'm not gonna do that to my baby. Yeah, so again, the couple, as I said, they were 2 refugees, and they were trying to seek a lawyer after their interrogation, trying to say that they were wrongfully accused, how they were being discriminated during their interrogation when the police released them. So I don't think that worked out, because obviously they finally came clean and said that they did it. And they were deported back to Haiti after all this. My questions and thoughts were, where was Ryan's biological dad? And there's not much things about like them now. I do not know what Haiti did to FLOTVELINE and METIDOR. I can't even remember their names. Like, yeah, FLOTVELINE, Jean-Louis, and METIDOR. And also because they didn't have family in Canada, I did not know if there was actually a funeral for the baby. No one ever said why they were refugees, like why they had to flee Haiti to go to US and Canada. And also because they got deported and they were originally refugees. That's why I'm like, there was no update on what Haiti did do. That could have been hush hush. So yeah. And I wasn't too sure if the mother really did the worst blow or if she was taking like a charge for her man Metidor, because sometimes, you know, things happen and like it's a baby, so maybe they were both annoyed, but could have been, you know, he's annoyed. But I'm not jumping to conclusions. The news said she did the worst blow, so we're gonna go with that. So the mother got 4.5 years and he got 2 years, so it was basically those years enough for both of them to be served for this, you know, even though they did say they were not meaning to do it, but they did not call medical support right away. Maybe if they did call, they could have saved him. I mean, as mothers, we all get frustrated, okay? Like every time, I'm not gonna say parents are perfect. You get frustrated, you want to, you know, we all grew up in that era. Not all of us, but we grew up in that era where you get beats, you know, but you don't get shaken to death. So that being said, if you are frustrated, if you have a newborn baby, if you are going through things, take a 5. You know, if the crying is upsetting you, like just take a 5, try to call somebody. You know, in this case, yes, they did not know anybody, but as I said, if they did try to know somebody, maybe someone could have helped them. Like the building was a friendly building, like people, there was mothers, a lot of mothers in the building. You can just say, hey, like, yo, I'm getting frustrated, or go for a walk or something, like, you know, talk to someone, call someone. But yeah, that was a hard story for me because I experienced it in real life, and it happened in my building. Whew. So I want to say rest in peace, sleep in paradise, baby Ryan. You didn't get to see much in life, but you've been to America, Canada, you know, you got to see 2 countries, even though you won't remember it, but rest in paradise. And this is my true crime video, guys. Thanks guys so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to like this video, comment down below, share with a friend, and subscribe. And guys, let's breathe, as that was a tough story. Okay, and remember, when life pricks you with thorns, go and search and smell for them roses. Bye guys. Thanks guys so much for tuning in. Bye. Have a good one. Bye.